For players looking for something fresh, WWE 2K24 brings with it a whole host of new match types, as developers have added a mixture of fan favourite matches alongside brand new ones, so kick back and relax as we take a special look at 4 brand new match types in WWE 2K24. Number 1. The Casket Match. Making its return as a playable match type for the first time since SmackDown vs Raw 2008, WWE 2K24 offers up a fresh take on the match, which sees the casket placed at ringside. When opting to play a casket match, the match begins with a special introduction that sees the casket wheeled down to ringside by the officials, with the announcer then going over the match rules.
There are no pinfalls, submissions, disqualifications, or countouts. The only way to win is for a superstar to force their opponent inside of the casket. After closing the casket lid shut, the remaining superstar will be declared the winner!
Once the match begins, you'll find the casket placed next to the apron at the bottom of the ramp, where you can freely walk over to it and open the lid. With the lid open, you can begin trying to place your opponent inside, which you can do in a variety of different ways. You can send them over the top using a running strike, knock them off the apron, or utilise the carry system, which you can use at ringside to throw them into the casket with the likes of a powerbomb, or use it in ring and dump them over the top rope. You can also use the carry system to deal extra damage by throwing players onto the casket while the lid is closed, both from in-ring and at ringside. Once you have your opponent inside the casket and you've worn them down a little, you can attempt to close the casket by pressing the left bumper, which will begin a closure minigame that works in the same manner as the submission system, with players having to rapidly press the button that's shown on screen. If your opponent is able to escape, then they'll kick the casket open and knock you down while they climb out to safety. However, if you've dealt enough damage and you can win the minigame, then this will see you slam the lid shut, winning the match and celebrating on top of the casket.
In some ways, it seems inevitable. Another win for Roman Reigns. Cody fought his heart out, but Roman asserted his dominance once again.
Number 2. The Ambulance Match. The Ambulance Match is a brand new addition to the series that sees an ambulance parked up at ringside, with the aim of the match being to throw your opponent into it and close the doors. Like the Casket Match, the Ambulance Match also starts with a special introduction, with the ambulance backed up to ringside as the announcer goes over the rules.
There are no pinfalls, submissions, disqualifications, or countouts. The only way to win is for a superstar to force their opponent into the ambulance by any means necessary. After closing both doors, the remaining superstar will be declared the winner!
Once the match begins, players can exit the ring and head over to the ambulance, which is fully interactive, as you can freely open and close the doors using the left bumper, or climb the ladder on the side of the ambulance to get on top. Once on top of the ambulance, the roof area works similar to the roof of the Hell in a Cell, where you can brawl with your opponent and perform grapple moves, throw them off with an Irish whip, or use the carry system and send them crashing down to ringside. With the doors of the ambulance open, the aim of the match is to throw your opponent inside, which you can do using whips and drags, or like the Casket Match, you can also use the carry system and attempt to throw your opponent in using a variety of different carry moves, each of which include its own unique reversal. Once you manage to get your opponent inside, you can trigger the endgame by pressing the left bumper to close the doors, with this minigame also mirroring that of the submission system, where you'll have to rapidly press the buttons that are shown. If the player inside the ambulance wins the minigame, then they'll bust out of the doors and return to ringside. However, if the attacker wins, then this will see the first door closed, with the minigame then repeating a second time for the other. If you're able to win both minigames and shut both of the doors, then this will end the match and lead to a special victory scene that takes place on top of the ambulance.
Here is your winner,
Number 3. The Gauntlet Match. Another match type that's making its return in 2K24 is the Gauntlet Match, which sees you take control of a single superstar as they go up against a series of opponents one after the other, with the aim of the match being to defeat all of the upcoming opponents and make it to the end of the gauntlet. This match is one of the most challenging matches that you can attempt, as it's all about managing the way that you play and trying to take as little damage as possible while quickly dispatching opponents to move on to the next. After defeating an opponent via pinfall or submission, a short cutscene will play that shows your next opponent appear on the stage, with the on-screen graphics keeping count of how many opponents you've faced. As for how many opponents you'll face, players have the option to choose between 4 and 30 players when setting up a gauntlet match, so if you're feeling like you want a challenge, then you can take on 30 players one after the other. As the next opponent makes their way down to ringside, you get a quick breather which allows time for your health to regenerate, as making matches easier. As long as you're not taking damage, then your health bar will regenerate over time. One of the cool things about the gauntlet match is that it doesn't end after you're defeated, as you can take control of the next entrant, similar to the Royal Rumble match. Plus, you can also place a championship on the line, which will then be awarded to the player who scores the final pinfall. Number 4. Special Guest Referee. WWE 2K24 sees the long-awaited return of the fan-favourite Special Guest Referee match, which allows you to don a referee shirt and take control of the action, where you're free to call the match as you see fit. This new version of the match closely resembles the original, with all of the actions that were available previously making a return, along with several new improvements, the first of which being that referees now have the option of wearing a referee attire, which makes things a lot less confusing than it used to be. Also new is the addition of modes, as while playing as the referee, players can freely switch between referee mode and superstar mode, with referee mode seeing strikes and grapples replaced with referee actions, like starting an argument or making a count, while switching into superstar mode gives you full access to your moveset.
Oh boy, this whole match is about to change.
The spinning solo!
While in referee mode, should a player go for a pinfall, then you can press down on the right thumbstick to get into position and then manually control the speed of the count using the A button, with how fast or slow you count being entirely up to you. Like the original, the new version of the match also sees the return of the performance meter, which is used to track and grade your overall performance. Calling the match down the middle will see the meter fill and allow you to gain momentum and store finishes. However, should you perform poorly and ignore pinfalls or start attacking players, then this will cause your meter to empty, which will eventually see you ejected from the match and replaced by another referee.
I've seen worse officiating in my life.
Yeah, but Cole, you can't just switch out the official in the middle of a matchup.
I wish we could switch Byron out of commentary, but nonetheless, we're going to have a new official here.
For those wondering about a screwjob finish, that too also makes a return, as providing you have a finisher stored, then you can perform a screwjob and call for the bell during a submission.
What in the... You've got to be kidding me. Is that how we're going to end this?
So that's 4 brand new match types in WWE 2K24. Let me know which of them you're most excited to play in the comments, and stay tuned to the channel for more early gameplay of WWE 2K24. Until next time though, thank you so much for watching this video, have yourself an awesome day, and I'll catch you later.